In the world of cyberpunk, style is very important. You can keep up with the latest trends and wear the latest fashions, but you can't be any geek off the streets. You gotta be handy with the slang, if you know what I mean, to earn your keep. Cyberpunk is more than just the gear you wear. It's a way of life, a state of mind. It flows through every fiber of your being, including the way you speak. Here are some street slang from the world of cyberpunk to help you navigate the underworld a bit better. You don't want anybody in the world of cyberpunk to know your true identity. You don't really know who you can trust. So you want to have a handle. A handle is a nickname, the way you're known in the streets and on the net. And you'll come across many colorful individuals. If you're into the hardcore music scene, you may come across some chromers. Chromer, a 21st century heavy metal rock fan. Not to be confused with a rocker. A rocker is a musician or a performer who uses their art to make political or social statements. And not to be confused with the rock star, who are usually under contract by media corporations and must be apolitical. And if you're into hanging out in the streets and with those who dwell in the underground, you want to keep your eye out for some shady individuals, like boosters. Boosters are any member of a gang. They affect cyberware and cause random violence. Good thing there's cyberware to help you out of sticky situations, but just like plastic surgery, cyberware implants can quickly get out of control, so you want to be careful when chipping in. Chipping in is when you install your first implant, or when you connect to a machine. As dangerous as it is, there are some who still try to cyber up. Cyber up to get as much cyberware implanted as possible before you go over the edge. If you're ultra rich, you'll most likely get your cyberware from a high-end company, but if you don't happen to come from money, on the streets of cyberpunk, you can find yourself a Ripper Doc. A Ripper Doc is a surgeon specializing in implanting illegal cyberware. Not only will you chip in and cyber up, but you'll eventually take your share of combat drugs. Combat drugs, any one of the series of designer drugs created to increase speed, stamina, and reflexes. One in particular is Dorfs. Dorfs is a synthetic endorphin, a designer drug that increases healing powers, limits fatigues, and provides a rush similar to that of a second wind. But you gotta be careful with all these cybernetics and combat drugs. If you overdose, you might flatline. Flatline is what you call a dead person or thing, or if you're the type to take a life, to kill. If killing is your thing, then you're no stranger to slam it on. Slam it on to get violent, to attack someone without reason. And if you like killing enough to make it a profession, you can choose to be a Ronin. Ronin is a freelance assassin or mercenary, but they're usually considered untrustworthy. If working for yourself is not your jam, instead of taking the route of the Ronin, you can go Samurai. Samurai is a corporate assassin or mercenary hired to protect corporate assets and or to strike against the interests of competing corporations. Or maybe you're not a fighter, but a lover instead. If so, you're bound to either have an input or an output. An input is simply a girlfriend, and an output is a boyfriend. And when a boy likes a girl, it can lead to a session of stuff it, to have sex. Or maybe you're into something a little different, an exotic. An exotic is a humanoid biosculpted with non-human elements like fur, long ears, fangs, tails, and the list goes on. This is just a taste of street slang to help you navigate your way through the underground. But remember, one may look the part. Their clothes can be flashy, they might drive the fastest car, but now you'll be able to tell if all their gear was either bought by gold or earned by blood.